Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of selections from Iliad Book 2, and I got up to line 301. And so this is part of the long speech of Odysseus, who's trying to convince the Greeks to stay and fight. And he's reminded them of the seer Kalchas in the last little section. So he says, so that we might know whether Kalchas prophesied aizelon truly or whether he did not. Eugarde tod idmen eni fresin, for we know this, we indeed know this thing well, eni fresin, in our minds. Este, now this este is, well, it's second person plural, so you are all, and then it's hung over the next line, martyroi, witnesses. You whom, now the keres is a special form of death really that goes with each person, sometimes called fate, but sometimes translated as death. So the may here is unusual, in fact. We'd expect oo here, but we get may. So it means it's you whom the fates of death, and the may goes with the verb, have not gone, in other words, have not gone off, ferusai, carrying, in other words, and supply you. It's a funny line. So whom the fates of death have not gone off, have not gone carrying you off, we might say. Kthisda tekai proisda. Funny, again, a funny expression here. It's something like it was yesterday or the day before. It's a idiomatic way of saying it wasn't all that long ago. So it's something like it seems like yesterday or the day before. Hot te, epsilon elided, when the ships of the Achaeans, agerethonto, this is a passive, were gathered from agero. So were gathered as aulida at Aulis. Ferusai, the ships, they were bringing evil things to Priam and the Trojans. Hemes dumphi peri crene heros, and now this is two lines in taken together here. So we, in the main verb, is here. Erdomen. So we were performing sacrifices. We were making holy hecatombs to the gods at the holy altars. So the kata goes with the bow moves, but the adjective's back here. An amphiperi, funny combination here, all around the crane, the spring. So we were performing perfect sacrifices, unblemished hecatombs, literally, to the gods, at the sacred altars, around the crane, around the spring. Kale hupo platanisto, a platanistes is a plane tree. So under the beautiful plane tree, hothin where, aglaon hudor, the shining, bright shining water, re'en imperfect, was flowing from re'o. And enth ephane megasema, and a great sign appeared there, and it was a dracone, a snake, not a dragon really, but a snake. And darphoinos, a funny word here, some translated as simply tawny, sort of brown coloured, but In fact, the da root here is for zeta alpha, za, and that itself is another form of dia, which is used as an intensitive, very. And the phoinos is that sense of bloody. So others, I think a better translation is something like blood red, or it's literally very bloody. So blood red epinota on their neck, on its neck. So a snake, blood red on its neck. Smerdalios, lovely word, and it's held over the next line for emphasis, a very terrible or fearful one. Which Olympios, this is the Olympian, that's referring to Zeus, Autos himself, then, Heike from Hyame, sent forth Phoosdi to the light. This is from Phos. It's the phos with a circumflex, and this is originally a Phos, so, or Phos. So he sent it up to the light. Presumably it's come from some dark region. Hoop aixas, darting up. This is from hoop aiso. Notice the diaeresis is here. The verb is aiso. So darting up from the bomos, from the altar. Orusen, from probably Ornumi, it rushed forth towards, accordingly, towards the plataniston, towards the plane tree. Enth de esan, and there was, now this is from azan without augment, would be azan in Attic. There were there the neosoi, the chicks of a sparrow. A spruthos is a sparrow, the chicks of a sparrow. Napia techna, young babies, literally. It's children, but we would say just young babies. These are the little chicks of the sparrow. And they were osdo ep acrotato, on the highest branch here. Osdos can mean the root, but it can also here has the sense of the branch, I think. So on the most high branch, petalois hypopepteotes. This is a funny looking thing here. This looks like a perfect participle here, and I think the verb is peteso that it's from. It's a bit odd, but the sigma seems to have disappeared. Others think it comes from pipto, but I think it's hupopeteso. Peteso is to crouch under the leaves, so they're crouching under the leaves. So in other words, they're cowering under the leaves. Octo, there were 8 of them. Artemete enate ein, but the mother was the 9th one. So there were 8 of them, but there were 9 including the mother. The mother, Hei Teke Tekna, who, lovely sound patterns here, Hei Teke Tekna, the roots being cognate, of course. So she who bore the chicks, the Tekna, literally the children. Enth hoge tus Elena cat aeste tetrigotas, and there it, now the ho is referring back to the dracon, the snake, indeed. This is from cat estio, to devour, was devouring them. The Eliana is adverbial, and we have here a, this will be another, it's a participle here. It's from the verb trisdo. Trisdo is to utter a shrill cry, so it's them, or chirping piteously, or crying piteously. So there it, the snake, in fact, devoured them as they were chirping piteously, or crying out piteously. The tus goes with the tetragotas. The tetrago, I think, must be a perfect participle from the tristo here, the tetragotas. Meter, the mother, lamenting, weeping over her dear chicks, literally her dear children. Amphipotato was flying around. This is connected with the verb petomai, but I think there's another verb similar with the vowel gradation, but here it could be from amphipetomai. She was flying around, weeping or lamenting. She's very upset over her dear chicks. But elelixamenos, this is a funny verb, it's from elelizdo. We get here, I think this is a reduplicated aorist participle here because of the sigma hiding in here. Reduplicated aorist, so whirling around, ain her, that is the sparrow, and it took her by the wing. This is a genitive here, so took hold of her wing as she was amphiaquian. This is a perfect participle without reduplication. It's formed from, it's amphi plus iako is the verb. Iako is to shriek or to yell out. So she was flying about shrieking. So this snake took whirling around, took her by the wing as she was flying around shrieking. Ata epe katatekna phage, but when, now again the kata goes with the phage from kat esthio, so when the snake had devoured the children of the sparrow, and Altain, the sparrow itself, ton men arizelon theken theos, the god, this is funny here, the arizelon means to make invisible, to remove from sight. Now there are other, there's other variant readings here, and I think I'm prefer the reading of Zenodotus, which is aizelon is the other variant reading, which I think I prefer. It's in one of the manuscripts, so it's down the bottom here. It's right down the bottom here. It's aizelon, and that will mean invisible. Aizelon. So if we read that, the god made it invisible. As it is, the god made it well, very zealous, very jealous, which seemed to be a bit odd to me, so I think I prefer the other reading. So the god made it invisible. The god who, in fact, who the pair is emphasizing, the very one who, ephane, brought it into the light, so made it visible in the first place. So that's why I prefer that alternate reading here. So the god made it invisible, that's the snake, the one who indeed brought it into the light. La'an ga min etheke, and the son of wily-minded Kronos, that is of course Zeus, turned it into stone. Hemes de Hestoates, and we, standing around, we were amazed that such a thing, etukthe, this is aorist passive from tuko, had been made, had been done. Hos un dana pelorathion esalthon hecatombes. Then when this dana pelora, this is neuter plural. The noun here is peloron, which is a dread portent, so a portent, and this is neuter plural singular verb. When therefore dread portents of the gods, aizelon, entered into our hecatomb, into our sacrifice of the hecatomb, Kalchas forthwith thereafter, spoke theopropion, so speaking the prophecies of the gods. Tipped is tip-potty. That's quite a common little expression in Homer. It's not a verb. It's nothing to do with tiptoe or anything. It's tip-potte. Why ever have you become, and neo, why ever have you become silent, O Achaeans, long-haired Achaeans? So, long-haired Achaeans, why ever have you become silent? For wily Zeus, Ephane from Phino, has revealed this great portent, Hamin, to us. Opsimon, opsiteleston. Lovely sound patterns again here. Opsimos means late, coming late. So coming late and fulfilled late. So late coming and late fulfilled. And not ever will the kleos, the glory. Now the ho'u is of him, so it's whose glory never will perish, will be destroyed, from the future here, from Olumai. So whose glory will never perish. When, or perhaps since, Hutos, Zeus, oh no, sorry, not Zeus, since this one, so this is the Dracon again, this is the snake. So since this snake, and the kata goes with the phago again, so has devoured the children of, or the chicks of the sparrow, and the sparrow itself, 8 of them, but the mother was 9, the mother who bore them, so it's a repeat of that earlier line. So the mother made 9, the mother who bore them. Thus we, for as many years, for the same number of years, that is because there were 9 of them, this was taken to mean it's going to take 9 years. So thus, in the same number of years, we will fight. This is a future here. So from Ptolemizdo, we will fight Althi there, but to Decato, in the 10th year, Hirasomen future, we will take the city with its many streets. And Kanos, that man, that is, of course, Kalchas the seer, Tos, in this way he spoke. And indeed now all these things are being fulfilled. Could be a future or could be present, it's hard to tell, it's a passive here. All these things now are being fulfilled, but come, Pantes mimnete, all of you remain here, you well-grieved Achaeans, remain autu here. Quite a nice use of the enjambment here, so all of you wait, well-grieved Achaeans, here. Ace ha, until Helomen we might take, it's that subjunctive again from Hyrio, the great city of Priam. And that is the next section of Book 2.